should know how to do that at this point. Right? So I'm going to grab this radius tool, and I'm going just to dimension this curve. So that part should go pretty well. You can kind of set it wherever, honestly, as long as it's kind of in the general area. So once you have that, AutoCAD gives you the ability to edit these dimensions in place. And the way that goes is, you guys know that if you click on something and you get the grips, that you can move anything, right? So you just pick it up and you slide it around and all that cool stuff. Well, one of the interesting things about dimensions is if you hover over the grip without actually selecting on it, but just put your cursor on it, it's going to give you an expansion of tools. And this happens with many things. Lines will give you like the extend or stretch. But the one that we're most interested in is dimensions, because we're going to change the format. And I don't know that this is super common, but it does come up from time to time, especially with these floating center points that you kind of see here. So this one, as you can see, the floating center point is kind of out in space, and then the dimension is along the dimension line. And there's a couple of different options here that I'm going to go through. I want to move the text, right? So you could move the dimension line, you could move the text only, you can make this thing so it's above the line, and then it has a couple of center vertically, which I don't know that literally, I've never seen that come up in any drawing, but if you needed to. And then you can also reset it. So if you mess up, you can hit this reset and it'll put it back to the default position, which is kind of nice. Okay. So what I'm going to do again is I'm just going to click on the dimension. I'm going to hover over the grip until I get this little menu. And then I'm going to move text only. And you can kind of see that it's attached the text. It's left the line, you can see that, right? But it's attached the text to my cursor now. And I'm just going to put that right in the middle. And it's going to break up the line for me. And it's also going to give me that kind of inline look. Yeah.
I missed that on the ribbon.
Yep.
Where did you went originally?
Yep. So I'm going to go to the radius tool, the dimension tool. I'm going to click the curve, right? Because I want to dimension that. And then just set it somewhere. It doesn't really matter where. Then I'm going to click on the dimension itself and then hover over the grip. And that menu is going to appear. And I want to go to move text only and then slide it inside. And again, you know, some of these examples I pick are to show specific skills. This is one of those. It comes up with a couple of different, the tangent, radius, and that dimension, and the zero suppression. The dimensions are kind of the big three out of that are kind of important skills. So you could leave that guy. I know it doesn't have the center mark up there. I'm not that concerned about it. When you more know about how to put that guy in, we could certainly go back out and put a center mark there, but I just don't know that it's worth it. Okay, so that one should, I hope, for the most part, square away assignment 13, which brings me over to 14. In 14, I kind of started. Again, I think I mentioned as we were looking at this before, most people can get this portion of it pretty easily. These are the two, the 1.125 and the 1.75 circles. Those ones are pretty simple to do. And then I want to put this guy in. This is my center circle, and I think I mentioned to you that they list it as a linear dimension, but it still technically is the radius of that center circle. And then I just put the two center lines in, which again, these are just polar snap. So I think that you guys can handle both of those pretty easily.